Well, reaction to the president's idea to reopen Alcatraz as a federal prison is all over the place. So we sent Fox News at Night producer on the street Natalie Reddington into the heart of liberal L.A. to get us a sample of opinions.
What are your opinions on Trump trying to reopen Alcatraz?
Well, I've been to Alcatraz, and it seems like it would take many, many hundreds of millions of dollars to get it in shape to be a prison.
I visited Alcatraz as a kid. I wouldn't want anybody to have to be there.
I think it's very funny.
And why? Why so?
Well, it's so quaint, it's so retro, but, we've all been there. The only problem is that I have an apartment across from there, and I'm worried about all the skippies.
It seems ridiculous, right?
We used to live in San Francisco. I'm from there. Love to take people there. It's a great tourist spot for sure. So it just doesn't make sense, but that's Donald Trump, right?
I think it sucks. Apparently it's falling apart.
I just hate him. I need to assume that it's just going to be the worst possible thing for mankind because and the planet and the earth and everything, because that's all he does.
It is a distraction. One more distraction for Trump to get off of the issues that are important, and it's ridiculous. But it makes a good museum.
I mean, at this point, the absurdity is beyond any sort of articulation, but he's a plutocratic clown. Go home.
It just depends on the cost of building it up. Just keep it as a tourist destination, because there's plenty other places you can put funding in for prisons.
The reason why it shut down back in 1963 is because it was too expensive to run. It brings in about $60 million for the National Park Services as a tourist destination. What do you think about trying to rebuild it?
I think that's a lot of money. I'm assuming that's going to be taxpayer money that will be used to rebuilding that. And I don't know if I fully agree with it. I love Trump. I just don't know if I agree with it.
Trump says he's a businessman, and we want to make smart decisions with our money. So if it costs more to imprison somebody at Alcatraz, that's not a good business decision.
It seems logical that it's a tourist attraction right now. That seems to be going all right, as long as it's safe for people to be in there.
I feel like it should stay a tourist attraction. I mean, the national parks are in danger right now, right? I mean, it's generating revenue. Why not?
It just seems like a waste of money. Like, it's generating money now, so why would we want to make it lose money?
We want to be humane, even with people who have committed crimes, because that's how we rehabilitate people and hopefully make our communities safer.
Well, new video out of New York City tonight of teenage Venezuelan migrants alleged to be Tren de Aragua gang members attacking two NYPD officers in Times Square. Let's bring in investigative reporter Spencer Lindquist and former acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf. Thank you both for coming on. Here's the video. I want to put this up on the screen because this is the video that we have been talking about in Times Square. 11 kids. The youngest of them was 12 years old. And here now is some sound from the New York Police Commissioner.
Our detectives got right to work and within hours identified members of a violent group known as Los Diablos de 42, a subset of Tren de Aragua. Several of them are listed in our gang database, and that's one of the reasons that we caught many of them so quickly.
I mean, Spencer, these are kids.
That's right. I've been to cities all throughout the country, towns and cities like Springfield, Ohio, and even New York in my time at the Daily Wire. Some of these places that have really been ravaged by mass immigration. And we see the legacy of mass immigration on display in New York City. This is a city that used to be the crown jewel of the United States, and its decline is inextricably tied to criminal mass illegal immigration.
Yeah. Meantime, to you now, Chad, because Pam Bondi was talking about one of the biggest fentanyl busts literally in the history of the United States and how the drug lords, well, they might end up in a place we just talked about a few minutes ago. Watch.
I've no desire to send them back to Mexico because they were coming across our border illegally. No longer will they be able to do that. But the amount of drugs, the amount of money, the amount of weapons, most of these individuals, if convicted, will remain in American prisons. Perhaps Alcatraz.
We're talking about 11.5 kilos of fentanyl, 3 million pills. I mean, I don't care about the Alcatraz angle in this thing, but that's a bunch of fentanyl coming across.
Well, absolutely. Look, fentanyl continues to be a problem. I think President Trump and his team are addressing it head on. But back to New York City just for a moment. That is what we see from obviously these sanctuary jurisdictions, these soft on crime jurisdictions, I think the criminals feel emboldened, right? I'm sure that group of kids felt emboldened to do that because they didn't feel any consequences. They didn't believe that they were going to get caught. And if they did get caught, there wasn't going to be those consequences. So I think this is a wake-up call for a lot of folks. Mayor Adams there in New York City likes to say that he cooperates with ICE. I think he only does that in certain cases, civil cases. So this will test his relationship with the new Trump administration, and we'll see where it goes. But again, there's got to be consequences for this type of behavior. Otherwise, it's going to continue.
Yeah, the consequences are yet to be seen. Some of these people are kids, and it's unlikely that anything will happen to them. Meantime, Trump planning to use local police officers to supercharge the deportation. Here's what Tom Homan said about that.
We're going to look for these public safety threats, and we're going to take them off the streets in New York and every other sanctuary city. As a matter of fact, every sanctuary city, we're going to triple the workforce. We're going to flood the zone with officers.
Yeah, flood the zone with officers. Good idea, Spencer?
Well, we covered this exclusively at the Daily Wire earlier this week. We got an internal memo from the Department of Homeland Security showing that they had signed over 500 agreements. The number is actually almost 600 agreements with state and local law enforcement. Really, the task of deporting the illegal aliens present in this country, it's estimated to be a population of 19 million. That is a gargantuan task. The fact that they're bringing in state and local law enforcement now, just like Homan noted there, it really is going to provide a massive force multiplier in this operation to deport the illegal aliens present in this country.
No. Kind of a two-part question again to you, Chad, because I want to put this headline up. This is from WFXT. Child rapist from Brazil living at a Cape Cod daycare. A licensed home daycare on Cape Cod has closed its doors following the arrest of a convicted child rapist who had been staying there. You hear that information and you mix that with the fact that Trump's planning to use cops to kind of supercharge deportations. What do you think?
Well, I agree. It's a force multiplier. Look, this is the 287G program. It's being used pretty extensively in Florida and Texas and other areas, but we certainly have to expand that, and I think the Trump team is looking to expand that, particularly to blue states and blue jurisdictions, whether that's in New York City, that's in Massachusetts, that's in Illinois, and elsewhere, because federal officials alone are not enough to identify and remove these individuals. You're going to need local law enforcement, sheriffs, and others to be involved here. And there's a way to do that, and DHS has historically done that through this 287G program. During the Biden administration for 4 years, they put that on hold. They didn't recruit more into there, and I think we saw the consequences to that.
Yeah. Chad Wolf, Spencer Lindquist, thank you both.